and this is my very first podcast, and it's called Milk Crate Marketing Moments, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But today I am so excited because I have Christine Rothdeutsch here. I met Christine, oh gosh, Christine's probably been about 4 or 5 years ago,
Oh,
right?
at least, yeah, yeah.
We were in a coaching program together, and we just kind of reconnected recently, and probably in the last year,
Mhm.
and just so much kind of really got to know you. I didn't really get to know you before, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have some amazing things that you talk about, and honestly, you're the reason I'm doing this podcast. So welcome. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank
Oh,
you, thank you.
what you know what I forgot, Christine? I've already forgotten to read your bio. So let me tell people who you are, and then I'll welcome you one more time. So again, this is the initial podcast, and we decided we're not going to get upset about anything that does not go right today, correct? So,
Correct.
all
Mhm.
right. So, Christine Rothdeutsch is a speaker, author, systems design specialist, and a master implementer. That's what I love about her. She works with coaches and speakers who are serious about growing their business and know that having an effective system and she knows that having an effective system in place leads to greater profit margins, right? Christine blends her unique skills of business operation management and precision automation implementation. That is a lot of long words in a row. Um, give
I'm
her
testing you.
to give her clients the systems they need to run a highly efficient, highly profitable, and highly impactful business. Christine believes with the right systems in place, anyone can achieve their dream of owning a 6 or 7 figure business. Christine, welcome and thank you for being my initial guest. There's a word for that, but I can't remember what it is. Like the first one. What is that?
Thank you for having me, Jean.
You're welcome. So, can we talk for just a moment about the podcast?
Mhm. Sure.
Right. So I had said to Christine, "Hey, Christine," she told me she's doing a podcast. Let's start there. You started doing a podcast. Tell us
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah, I started it. I wasn't making any big announcements about it, working on it in the background, and I guess the week 2 weeks after I announced it in a group that you have, and you're like, "What? What? You have a podcast?" It's like, "Wait a minute."
Yep.
I was like, "Yeah, no big thing." Well, it was a big thing, but um it was something I had wanted to do for quite a while. It's my show. That's what I love about it. It's my show. I have control over it. It is what I want it to be, and the big thing is I'm being seen. I was always the world's best kept secret because I wasn't marketing myself effectively. I do Facebook lives here and there, and yeah, wouldn't get many views, but I tell you, this format of video casting, a live broadcast, my guests and I are getting so many views. It's amazing.
Sorry, I've been sick for a month, so I'm still coughing. Well, listen, the moment you said I'm doing a podcast, I'm like, I wanted to do a podcast, but I didn't want to do it because I thought it was hard, right? I
Yeah.
thought it would be really awful to implement, awful to start it. I don't know all the stuff I need to do. And what did you say to me?
Well, you said you make it sound easy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
is it that easy? I was like, well, for me it is.
This is Miss Master Implementer, right? You're a master design specialist and implementer.
Well, that's the thing. I thrive on systems, and when the technology pieces all fit together and it's working, great things can happen. But yeah, I said, yeah, no, I for me it's simple, but for other people it might not be, and that's okay. That's what I'm here for, to help people to do things like this.
Yes. Well,
So
do you remember the second thing I said to you?
what,
Okay, the
oh,
second thing, go ahead.
could I teach it?
Well, I said,
Is that-
could you teach it, right? Because I was thinking if it was that easy, I would take your class, which I did, right? And then, okay, what was the third thing I said?
What was the third thing? I don't remember. What did
Third
you
thing
say?
was is after I took the class, I'm like, all right, this is more work than I have time to put in. Can you do this for me? Can you help me get this off the ground? And what'd you say?
I said, absolutely. You
And here
know,
we are.
yep, yep.
Here
I,
we are.
mhm.
So today, I know that the title of the shortest route to being seen. So I'm guessing, right? I let my guests pick what they want to talk about, but I get because listen, let's go back for just a second to the milk crate marketing moments because this is the inaugural podcast. Nobody understands what milk crate marketing moments are. So do you mind if I take just a second to explain what that was?
No.
So in 2001, I had bought, I'm sorry, 2002, I had bought my very first bankrupt business. And as I was in the kitchen in the second week, I was sitting on an upside down milk crate, crying my eyes out, right? Literally ugly crying, snot's coming out of my nose. My eyes are all red. I literally can't stop my nose, right? And I didn't have to worry about customers coming in the door because nobody was coming in the door 2 weeks into buying a new business, right? Apparently, they had not heard that I had purchased it yet. So I had a really great cry for 20 minutes, and then I reminded myself of who I am, and that I had a plan when I bought it, right? And I had just gotten so overwhelmed with opening it, so I knew I had to get up off my milk crate and get to work, right? So that's why this is called Milk Crate Moments. This is about what was your milk crate moment, marketing moment that turns your business around. And Christine, I'm going to ask you that question. What was your milk crate marketing moment that changed things for you?
Well, Jean, in this past year, it's launching my own show. It really is. I as much as I work behind the scenes, I love being out front too. I
Mhm.
love that. And it's if you're trying to be on other people's shows, it's kind of hit and miss. And when is it going to get there? When are you going to hear it and all that? And when I was presented with as a video live broadcast to all of my social media platforms, I was like, I'm doing this. It's like the visibility because it's so immediate. Here we are broadcasting to your social media, and I added my 5 channels in also.
Yay! Yay! So listen, you're the reason, you're number one, you're the reason I'm doing it live, right?
Yep.
Because what did I say? I said I
Yes,
don't.
you kept talking about recording. Why do you want to record? Just go live. Just do
Yeah,
it.
because I didn't wanna do it every week. I think that was the problem. I didn't wanna do it every week at a certain time, and I've already booked 2 more podcast interviews after you that are on Wednesdays at 3 PM Central Time. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna so I get to love you for that, and I get to not like you for that, right? That now I've tied up that hour of their spot, but
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for you. So let's talk about some of the people that you have on this, and how are you using your podcast now to get in front of your ideal clients?
Well, see, now that's the thing about podcasts, video casts, whatever you want to call this. it- There's multiple reasons to do one. Okay. Everybody has, a different goal in mind.
Right.
And for me, my goal is to start connections with my guests. 'Cause the thing is, if you're out networking and you want to get to know somebody, hey, can we meet for coffee? Or let's hop on a Zoom call. And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't got time for that. It's so time consuming. But it's, hey, do you want to be on my podcast? Yes. and
Right.
and it and it's about building that relationship. And that was something I had heard last year too, on some conference I was on. Somebody was teaching about building relationships with doing something like a podcast, having the guest on, and then using different methods to benefit them as the guest and whatnot, and then working on that relationship. And at some point it's, hey, I've got something going here, could you help me out, or let's connect, is there something we could collaborate on? But there's so many more opportunities when you've started the ball rolling, when you've been giving to other people. And that's what this is all about. And that's the thing, in your book club, Jean, over the months here, we're talking about, serving other people, and it will return to you. This is what this is all about for me, of serving other people, giving to them. Come on my show. I love to chat with people and interview people. And some people struggle with that concept. Not for me. The questions I come up with for some guests, they are amazed.
Yes.
But yeah, no, for me, it's that relationship with my guests and where it could lead in the future.
Well, I knew that that was going to be your answer, right? When I asked you that, because you are truly a giver there. So, and I really appreciate you helping me and teaching me what you're learning to do for yourself, right? Because this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. And we talked about how long is your podcast?
15, 20 minutes at the most. Well, I
Yep.
shouldn't say that. The last couple we've been chatting with, they've been 25, almost 30 minutes. The other day was one. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my
But
God.
you start the conversation. And I have to say, when I first start the broadcast and we start, and I'm looking at the timer and I'm like, oh geez, it's not even quite 5 minutes. I hope I can go 15 minutes with this person. And
Right.
before I know it, it's 20 minutes. I'm like, well, that was easy.
Well, that was it, right. So you did a class. I asked you if you would do a class
Mhm.
for me and some of my clients, right?
Mhm.
And you're going to do another class, I heard, right?
Yes, I am. Thanks to you, Jean. It's something I've incorporated in my business of doing a podcast tech class every month.
Love
Offering it it's a 2-hour online podcast class. And this is not, as you know, fluff and, oh, let's go figure it out. No, I show you everything. I show you all the pieces that you need to launch your podcast and keep it going.
yes.
I go behind the scenes with all the technology and show you how these things work.
Like
I-
everything.
yeah.
You gave us every piece of software we needed, right?
Mhm.
That now I don't have a microphone. I see you have a
Mhm.
microphone. I could pull my Yeti out, but I feel like my Mac has a good enough microphone. Should I not feel that way?
Um, it's okay. Uh, I prefer a more solid sound. And that's what you get with an external microphone. It's the same thing with video cameras. It's laptop cameras. Don't get me started. You should always have an external camera. But the built-in microphones that come with them too, they're okay. You can get
Right.
by with it, but it depends on what you're comfortable with. And I love, and honestly, I have a room air conditioner, and early on, oh my god, I'd be on a broadcast and I was afraid that it would make noise. So like, it's really warm and can't turn that off. I have since learned I can run that air conditioner because this microphone is so good it does not hear it.
Oh, well, that's
So
awesome.
I'm good. I'm comfortable.
Oh, very cool. Well, I know that I want to make sure other people have access to your podcast
Mhm.
workshop, right? So
Yeah.
can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So it's you basically podcast slash video cast technical workshop, 2 hours via Zoom, where you learn step by step
Mhm.
how to easily invite your guests and get all their information. And how many times you're going to be a guest on somebody's podcast and you're getting an email here and hey, I need this. Hey, no, I show you a simple way to do that. I show you how to go live, do a
Mhm.
live video broadcast and get that instant visibility with the technology, okay? And how to quickly then afterwards take the audio portion of that and put it up there on the traditional podcast sites. And like I said, I walk through every tool. As you know, Gene, you're watching me go through everything and you're like, oh my God, what is
Yeah, and even today, right? But even today, because I want it to be super easy. Right before our call, right before the podcast started, I was on the phone with you. I'm like, I don't know how to get into the studio. And you're like, "Hey, we went over this. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Scroll all the way to the bottom. Oh, there it is. Right. So yeah, but it was nice knowing that I had you there, right? To for the very first one that we were doing to
Mhm.
make it easy, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't want this to be difficult. I don't want it to be awful for people. I want everyone to get out there and be seen like you're being seen.
Mhm. Mhm.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that so much, Christine. So, can you? I'm assuming, right, that you will offer this to anybody watching your workshop. So tell us, like, when is it? How much is it?
Okay, so the next one is this Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Again, 2 hours, Friday afternoon. I normally charge, as you know, Jean, $197. Thank you
Yes,
very much, Jean.
that's what I paid. Yes, 197. So
But for the listeners of Milk Crate Marketing Moments, I want to offer a huge discount and take $150 off of that. So for $47, your listeners can learn how to launch their video cast
right,
podcast. And they can simply go to, it's part of my name, Christine Roth. It's only part of the name.com/MCMM, Milk Crate Marketing Moments. Again, that's ChristineRoth.com/MCMM. And you want to make sure you use the coupon code MCMM150. That's going to get you the 2-hour workshop that I do every month for $47. And everybody that registers for my workshops gets the recording. So you can go through it afterwards and say, no, I meant, what was that? I have notes here. And like, I think I take great notes too. And sometimes I'm like, what was that? It's like, I wish I could watch that again. Well, yeah, I also give the recording to everyone. So
and I love that part about it, right? That I love the fact that you gave so much and such good. Listen, you knew I was singing your praises, right? I'm telling everybody, it's like, look, if you didn't get that in on that 2-hour workshop, you should go pay her, offer to pay her, and ask her for the recording because it was that good. You did such a great job on the training there, and I'm not even mad that I paid $150 more than everybody else because I know that anybody watching this is going to have a great if you're interested in podcasting, Christina is a great teacher. She is amazing. I was so surprised, Christine, not that I thought you would be a bad teacher. I was surprised how great it was.
oh, thank
I think
you.
you'd be a good teacher. I didn't know you were awesome. Freaking awesome. Yeah.
Well, I thank you so much, Jean, for asking me to teach it. I had so much fun and it came so easily that I'm like, oh my God, I have to do more of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else that we should I'm new. Teacher, teach me. Is there anything else we should do before we close this down?
Well, I just want to say to the listeners, even if you never thought about doing a podcast or video cast because, oh, you don't know what to talk about, that was the thing too. It's like you're preparing to do a Facebook Live by yourself. Oh gosh, what do I talk about? When you have guests, it's so easy. And if you're already talking to people, which I think everybody is, it's a conversation. It's so easy and it's immediate visibility. Unlike many other formats of marketing out there, it's hit and miss. It's, when is it going to go live? But this is so easy.
Hey, and I can see the little I, right? That says 3. Is that including you and I? You and me?
The little I that says
So it
3.
tells us how many viewers we have. So is it
Oh, no,
3?
that's 3 in addition. That's in
Woo!
addition.
So high five to the 3 of
Yes,
you watching this podcast.
yes.
The inaugural Milk Crate Marketing Moments podcast. Christine, thank you for being my first guest. There's nobody else I would have had as my first guest because if it weren't for you, Milk Crate Marketing Moments would never have launched.
Oh, thank you
Thank you.
so much, Jean.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.